15% of all Reddit posts might be AI generated, but I can show you how to identify them with a little bit of programming magic.
We'll make an extension that lets us click a button to see if a post was written by an AI or a human. So we're going to need to make a Chrome extension, and after that, get the Reddit post. After that, check if human, and finally, return the result. It's surprisingly very easy to make a Chrome extension. All you need is 3 files, and this is how your HTML file will look like. And boom, we have Hello World. Hello World is pretty cool, but let's keep going. Let's grab the Reddit text off the post so we can work with it. This can be a little tricky, but by going into DevTools and finding the ID of the div that the post sits in, we can extract that ID for what we'll use next. We'll get rid of that HTML file and icon, and we'll also update our manifest.json. In our new content.js file, we'll make a function to create a button like this. And in that same file, we'll add a mutation observer so we could render a button dynamically every time a post loads. Now, when we load the extension into Chrome, we can head over to Reddit and see that our button is there. And after we click the button, the post gets pushed over to the console. So we have the first 2 steps of the project done, but now comes the hardest part, which is checking if the post is a human. There are a lot of different ways to verify if a post is human. You can use GPT-0 API or even make your own AI to verify this, which is a little bit too challenging for my taste. So what I did is I just Googled GPT-0 clone on Google, and I found that somebody did all this work already, and they claimed that it's just as good as GPT-0, so it's just as good for me. So we really only need 2 of these files from this GitHub project. And so what we're gonna do is really quickly set up an API so that we can test if this actually works and if it can integrate with our Chrome extension. Now that our API is running, we could quickly test it with a tool like Postman to see how the request is going to come back with the result from the model. Oh baby, we are so close to being done with this project, but all we have to do now, since we got the result, is to go into the content.js file and find the event listener for the button, where we'll add a fetch so we could fetch from the API locally and return the result back to the user on Reddit. Now that everything is where it should be and assembled, we could finally head over to Google Chrome, reload the extension, head to Reddit, and there you have it. Admittedly, this project was a little quick and dirty, so there are a lot of improvements you could do yourself, such as maybe using your own AI model that you create, or even adding validation to the API. Thank you for watching. The GitHub link will be down below, and if people find value in this, let me know, and I could try to release this as an extension if you don't know how to set up an API or something like that. Mike out.